Okay, this is an update on this survival games map. Yeah, this command blocks, we'll clean up into that now. This guy just helps a little bit. I kept everything in it, so for a few things that changed and such. Like this, still the same. Yes, I'm lagging. That's why it normally this thing doesn't lag so bad. I think I need to restart this computer. Normally, like, immediately explodes. These things, the slowness was picked up a notch so that even slower. And also now, if someone's hit by one of these, they get slowness. That same degree slowness for like 5 seconds, maybe. Yeah, 5 seconds. That can be used if you're being pursued. Just fire one. And if you miss, but you land, but it lands close to them, they'll be slowed down somewhat. If you hit them, they'll be slowed down for a little while. So it's a useful getaway weapon. And also, if I remember correctly, yeah, the slowness effect doesn't happen until it hits the ground. Yeah, that's a glitch. That's it. If it travels too fast, it hits the armor stand and it's actually above it. It's actually controlling it. And that's used for when if it hits person. Then it slows its descent. It prevents its ascent and slows its descent, which is kind of annoying. And then yeah, we have this. These. Another one. But instead of a book, we have these flares. Yeah, it just whispered any high because that's just a test thingy. I already have the part for if there's not a clear path to the sky. This thing will only work if there's a clear path to the sky. Like right now, the flare did not work because it still uses up the flare. So it's like, don't be stupid and try to fire it underneath. But I may change it so that it gives you back the flare. These right here were because all of my starting armor stands, which are used for these, got removed because of a bug that I had with these. So I reconstructed it with this so that I can recreate them instantly if I ever need to. And I still have a list of all the coordinates as well for when the game is being started. When people get teleported to the cornucopia, I can do it from that. For those of you who don't know, this starting area is the cornucopia.
She's an actress. I don't believe anything she does.
It still has your seconds thing, only now it's a lot more better. It's actually synchronized.
Actress. No, she's faking.
Yeah, I'm definitely lagging.
And that's manipulated.
It should be coming down roughly every second, but because of lag, it doesn't appear to be.
A very good actress. You'd be wondering, is this real or is this just pretend? Wow.
So with this flare thing, all we have to do is what I'm gonna end up doing, it's a little trick. We're gonna make a ton of different chests that each filled with a set of items that you would think would be alright for a supply chest to contain. Then I'm going to use a combination of this and the server console because I'm running this locally on this computer, which is part of the reason why it's so laggy. Because that's not exactly the recommended thing to do, but I'm going to use in tandem, and I'm going to execute block day with an empty tag on each chest so that it will return the actual block day string. Then I can copy that from the actual server console and use that as part of the command for the entity data on the falling chests, basically. And put that in a ton of command blocks, which will all be underneath this. And then, even further down, there's going to be different chest goals stuff you expect to find regular chests. Maybe some that are more rare than others, like they'll be classified. There'll be rare chests that contain better loot than other chests, like this chest right here will be a higher level, basically rare chest than these. With only one person will be able to get stuff from that. They have to be a little bit faster. And the spawn area is going to be up here. Everything, the world spawn has to remain close to here where I have it currently set, so that these stay loaded in no matter whether or not someone's actually within trunk loading range of them. I think for those of you who might be wondering how I got this to be able to test to see if you're if there's in space to the air above you or not, it is an instant test. It works using the test for blocks tag. They stick this right here, which is an entire column of nothing but air blocks. It tests your the block above you all the way up to the highest possible block, which is 255. Using the block above you so that if you're say on a chest, it'll still work. And I guess Joe joined in. Let's test that against that to see if they all match. If they don't all match, that means one of the blocks above at or above you, not at your feet, but at your head or above, is not an air block. That means if there's a wall sign, if you're standing underneath the wall sign, it won't work. Oh well. I'm not planning on putting in too many wall signs. I may also start later on putting some resource pack stuff so that when I'm on my text commands, not on the game sessions, but on like text stuff, it can be used with the translate, as well as it can put in maybe some custom sounds with some narration. Joe, you put on your Sunday clothes. Or is that supposed to be a military uniform? I can't tell. I can't help you. I don't know what the problem is. You're looking just fine, except for the fact that you're floating, and I can't hear you on Skype. Oh, dang it, my Skype closed out. No wonder I couldn't hear him. Well, Skype, you gonna open or not? Skype doesn't seem to want to open. What's wrong with Skype? That's weird. There's the arrow. Hmm. And actually, as of right now, the only weapon that does not even work at all is this in peaceful mode. I'm genuine. However, any of the explosives in peaceful mode will not actually really deal damage. So they'd still be pointless. The only one that wouldn't be would be not this one. This one. All it is slowness. As an alternative to peaceful mode, you could, if you want to make it so that you don't have to worry about aggressive mobs and such, you can set the game rule mob spawning to false. Then they won't spawn except through spawners and such. And yes, there are some spawners right now. I encountered one before, but it's an actually spawned because I said this in previous videos about this, but this is actually made on a custom world. That's why there's a ton of freaking gravel in what looks like a natural formation. Don't ask me why it generated a layer of gravel. I have no idea. I seriously have no idea. But it looks cool. It looked cool, so I was like, yeah, I'll keep it. See, you got gravel, and you got some dirt and other stuff. There's gonna be underwater portions of this as well. Plans for that. Some unique. It is quite large. Like, I'll show you from. I'll start at the very center of this, and then you'll get to see how long it takes me to reach the edge, denoted by the world border. For those of you who don't know what it is, you're about to find out. What it looks like, you're about to find out. There will be beta versions of this as soon as we get the spawn area set up, the actual running, so that you can actually kill people and get points and other stuff like that. Chest refilling and whatnot. At which, it won't be an actual complete map because there might still be spots. Yeah, this is the world border. You take damage if you're outside of it, and the reason for that, and one of the biggest uses for this map, no deathmatch. You know, something is an alternative to that, which might just be a little bit more intense. Why did I go all the way back to spawn? I want to be close to the wild doing that. Using this. See the world border? It's closing in. It'll close in over about 1 second underneath 2 minutes. I don't know why I did that. So basically what this means is you can either let it pass through you and start taking damage, or you start heading to center, and it gets quite small. But as it closes in, more people start dying either from being caught outside the world border too long, or from, because as it's smaller, you'll encounter more people, so you'll probably end up fighting along the way, trying to push other people outside the world border. This is going to make knockback actually a bit OP for this. It's also going to mean you won't want to be in any. Yeah, right there, I probably would have ended up. I would be dead now because I got caught outside the world border. As you can see, it preserves the landscape and everything. It just If you're in creative mode, for some reason, you can't you see that, but in any other mode, it doesn't do that. Not even spectator mode. As you can see, they are getting really close together, and it basically gets to the point where it's so small, you're literally fighting in an extremely small space where you're fighting just to stay in it. Not even to kill the other person, just to stay inside the world border. Like, it's not even done closing in. Oh gosh. See, now I'm stuck. If I were to... Oh, hey, it does block me. Oh, yeah, that was because if it's on at 1, it's so close that it's almost impossible. You have to be in the exact coordinate right here for it to actually lock, so where you can't get out. Oh, no, you're not fighting to knock other people out the world border once it's finished closing in. Once it's finished closing in, though, it's like you can't escape each other. You have to fight. I mean, there's no running anymore. Because there's water also, it's not like you can move fast. You can't even run fast anymore. But then instead of having the world war closing in over 2 minutes, it'll probably close in over about 5 minutes. That's more slowly, so that deathmatch is a little bit more. You can fend them off before it gets to this. But at the same time, I don't want it to close in too slowly because then it's not really like anything to be too worried about. But yeah, it's gonna make it so that people won't want to. Around time when it's because you wouldn't want to get in any companies' spaces that take a while to get out of. Because if you get caught in there, you're gonna die. And for those of you who don't really know what I just did, I just set it back to what it was at before. And now for the harmless begging, I need money. I'm gonna have this thing public. I'm gonna want a public server. I won't need one, but it would help a lot. And for that, you need money, unless you want to do one of the free ones. But I need one that has, for a quality run, it's gonna need 20. I'm gonna want to have at least 24 slots, and to be able to run it 24/7. That would cost money. Money I don't have. I can't even monetize. I can't even make money off of my YouTube videos because I'm not 18 yet. So if any of you feel like you could donate something, I don't actually have any place you can donate to yet because if there's any place I can go to, I don't have to be 18 because I want to keep things honest. I'm an honest person. Then please do. If you have a server you don't really use anymore that you could let me borrow, at least during the beta, that would also be appreciated. I mean, I can't. I'm gonna have it locked down to I'm probably gonna be locking it down to only 24 slots, but I might add support so that if more than 24 people join, that the excess people will be forced into spectating, or you could, the 24 people only count for people actually playing. You can choose to spectate instead. And also admins won't count either. I am definitely playing support for admin things, so that if the server gets downloaded recently, or if I ever manage to get my own server and start running something like this, it can be administrated in game. So if people get stuck somehow, they can report it in game, and admin can go and help them out and then fix the problem. And just so people, a lot of people I'm sure don't know about this. Earlier when I said game mode 2, that's adventure mode. I can't break anything. I could break something if I had an item that was specifically created with the ability to break certain locks. You can't place things either. See? You can do that. A lot of servers actually run this so that they can create areas where you're not allowed to break simply by using the built-in adventure mode stuff. Or at least I think that is. I don't know. I've been on a few servers that seem like that. Forgot I was still in. And that's what the flares look like.
Huh? Alright.
The purpose of the flare is like.
You want to finish this episode, obviously. It's almost over, but I can't finish it.
Yeah, nobody wants. It seems a little bit strange to be able to get the flag chest without anybody knowing where you're at. The purpose of flares is they can find you and drop you a supply chest. Of course, side effect of that is other people will be able to find you too. But you're gonna have to wait there if you want to get the supply chest. If you move, someone else might get it. And yeah. Then we get if you think this map is awesome, which if you don't, then you're out of your mind. Just kidding. If you don't, you're probably either you're not just into this thing, or you prefer to just do things the way they've always been. Well, if you don't like this, I can understand, but I can understand you liking it a lot more than I can understand you not liking it. So if you like this, like, comment if you have any suggestions for stuff I should add in, like custom weapons. In order for a custom weapon to work, it either has to be something that you spawn in, such using a spawn egg or an armor stand, or it has to be a type of bow, or an item that you just drop on the ground, such as the grenades. Possibly a throw potion, although that one I'm not too sure if I'm going to do that because it's weird. Or like a building that you may have seen or may not have seen, but really think would be cool, like stuff like that. And comment that below. I'm open to suggestions. This really is just a small dent in what it's gonna be when it's done. We hardly have any scenery even built on it. Like, we have 2 houses. And an area where you have to do like a big challenge before you can get to a diamond sword. Not revealing what those areas are. Yes, I'm gonna have to create something that gives you an lapis to use with the enchanted table. Like that. Now that I have the mini map, I can also create waypoints for areas like that later on for just for use, so that I can find those areas quickly. Yeah, just give me suggestions. I want this map to be something that isn't just what I want, but it's what other people want. Like, one of the reasons I actually started this is like, well, at one point, this was totally completely doable at one point, and as well as I wanted to make it different from all those stereotypical Hunger Games maps. It's like, they get so stacked, like, it's hard to get ahead if you lag and you can't get this far. It's hard to get ahead and such. It's hard to host one of your very own because you'd have to get like bucket stuff if you don't like, it's hard to find those. Vanilla ones currently suck. And I like the word border idea. It's like, why do you need a deathmatch? What's the purpose of a deathmatch even for? If I even remember correctly in the books, they didn't have deathmatch. What they had was the terrain was manipulated to start to force people towards an area, usually the center, that helps you with the alien. I've created something that does just that. It's a little bit more forceful, but yeah, it basically accomplishes that. So it's also a little bit more true to what it's actually like, what it actually be like. And I don't know exactly why this wire here, I think it just looks a little bit cool. And these are important. That is why they are important. I wish I didn't need them. But if you have any ideas, like, feel free, like, you feel free. Like building templates. If you can build a building and then make a schematic of it with MC edit or save it as a separate world file, and I can make a template of it. I can see if I can add it in. Like, I'll try to put a sign on it that says who it was built by as well, and your name can be in credits and whatnot if I remember. If I don't remember, just yell at me and I'll add you in. Not that you can actually yell me and yell at me. You can do all caps. All caps is close. But yeah, I think I drug out this live stream a bit too long, so I'm gonna end it now. Bye.